Pray 5 times a day, we give in charity. We fast in Ramadan, Hajj is our pilgrimage. We say there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. The ones on thee know it's a sacrifice, but it's a small price to pay for all the rewards we'll get from Allah, inshallah. They wanna know about Islam, we'll give them Dawah.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Welcome to the house. As you guys know, this is an area where we like to talk about mellow stuff, chill stuff, relaxing stuff. And obviously, this does not mean we don't have people of knowledge when we're talking about this kind of stuff, you know. So that's why we've got Sheikh Mohammed Uthman. Did I say it right? Did I say it right, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, good double check. Yeah, and we've got some layman on the show as well, inshallah. Awam, as they call him. Is that right? Okay. Brother Mohammed Ijad, may Allah bless him, inshallah. Actually, I'm not even the host here, we're just chilling here. So anyway, so basically, let's get straight to the point, inshallah, yeah? So we've got our dear Sheikh here as well, inshallah. What we're going to do is, we're going to watch a video about Brother Fouseytubes, who actually took his shahada very recently. And on this video, he's with Brother S.A.L.A.M, and inshallah, just to make things very clear, so as a disclaimer, nobody's perfect. May Allah guide us all. And when we say our statements and what we say, wallahi, we do not say that we're better than them. Wallahi, Allah can guide whoever He likes.
The hearts of the hearts of the children of Adam, the fingers of Rahman. He changes it wherever He wants.
Exactly. So anything that we say, we do not say it out of arrogance or self-righteousness, but it's just an advice to them and to ourselves. So just to make something clear, we are not in any way, shape or form, what's that word?
I don't know what you're saying right now.
Oh, that's it. Endorsing. Yeah, we're not endorsing in a way, and we say this out of humbleness because there's certain things the brothers do that we disagree with, so we don't want to make it seem like we endorse in their actions as well, inshallah. But anyways, let's get straight to the point, inshallah. So this is the video we're going to watch and understand where he is coming from, inshallah.
Here's the thing. In life, when you have a vision for something, the reason they tell you, the reason J. Cole said if they don't know your dream, then they can't shoot them down. Because the way we are built as people, if we announce our dreams, human nature is set out to hate on them. So J. Cole is saying protect your dreams. He's not saying don't tell the world your dreams. That's not how the universe works. He's saying protect your dreams. If you announce your dreams and your vision, you're announcing a reality they can't conceive in their consciousness yet. So when I'm talking about a world that has world peace, they don't see it yet. I do. I see my home country free. I see Palestine and Israel sharing common land.
He seems like a very passionate guy. One thing that came to mind just briefly, is that what he mentioned about don't tell people your dreams. The Prophet ﷺ actually mentioned this, right? About if...
No, but you can tell people if you have a good dream. First, the dreams are 3 types. You have dreams that are from shaitan. You have dreams of things that you've seen in the day and you've thought about it. And you have dreams that are from Allah subhanahu.
By the way, I think
Sheikh, Wallah, may Allah bless you. What says, when he's talking about dreams, he's talking about like his achievements in life. Yeah?
Oh, right. Oh.
It's okay though, it's okay. What, the hadith that was narrated. That's true, man. There's 3 types of dreams. One from Allah, one from shaitan, one from the desire, yeah? But Sheikh, what I was talking about, may Allah bless you, inshallah. That was an amazing reaction. I mean, people are going to love this. It's going to be really funny, inshallah. May Allah bless you.
You said dream, you said the hadith.
You know what I was talking about? I was talking about, you know, the Prophet said, if you want to do something, you have goals, be it business, be it marriage, this, that. Do not tell the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what...
Is that
Is
a da'af in that hadith?
Seek help in your affairs by kitman, by secrecy. By secrecy. Exactly. So telling your dreams to people, the ishkal here is that obviously you want to be careful of ayn. Because the Messenger said that al-ayn haqq. That bad eye is true, and even one of the Sahaba, the reason the Messenger said this because one of the Sahaba, you know, he was getting unchanged, and some of the Sahaba saw the upper part of his body, he became very ill, subhanallah.
Because of his skin.
Because of his skin, or because of something, mashallah, tabarakallah. Yani, so Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam barakta alayhi, why didn't he say, mashallah, tabarakallah, or invoke the barakah of Allah upon him? So, you know, to be honest with you, you should keep your dream secret, except for those whom you trust and those who you seek confidence in, right?
Exactly. What he's saying is in Islam anyway.
I see Trump being able to look me in the eye and saying, you know what? I love you. Humans first. If they saw, because I have clips of us in Australia when I'm going crazy, or in LA when I'm wearing nothing but a towel telling you guys this is what's gonna happen. If they saw that, that's when they're gonna call me crazy. That's why I don't show them that until Staples Center night. You guys wanna see crazy? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes no mistakes. No mistakes. He's gonna do things in your life.
I think that's the first time I've heard him say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's actually, I'm really happy. You know, the first time I hear him, because he's been through a lot of stuff, but for him to say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like it's I don't know.
What's he saying now? Let me see what he's saying.
No, I know, but it's
I left Islam. The reason I left and I lost my faith was because growing up in a religious family, my dad, he's not religious. My mom, she wears a hijab, alhamdulillah. My older brother, he's very religious. I got set up in a dynamic where it was forced to me and I didn't get to understand it. And
this is exactly one of the biggest problems that you face. You are told to do something, but you're not explained why. You're just told to do as you say. And this is the reason why, sadly, we do have people who leave the religion. Why? Because they've been told to do something they don't understand, and when they come across doubts and shubhat, they automatically think, okay, I don't even believe it fully. Now you get what I'm trying to say?
The thing is, we focused on the outward aspects of Islam. Do this, don't do this, wear this, don't wear this. But there's no explanation of why. There's no higher objective or higher purpose as to understanding what is Islam to us. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want from us, and why does He want this from us?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what is really profound. The fact that He's telling you why, what caused it. Anything you want to say, or you want?
Well, I just think that one of the misconceptions that people do sometimes have is that they use this argument. They say that, well, my parents forced me to be like religious and stuff like that. It's true that can be the case, the reality sometimes, but you also have to look at the indirect influences that have caused you to be who you are today. For instance, the society and its expectations, the society in which you live in and the expectations of that society has socialized you to be and think in a certain way. Certain things that you're saying now, like I was just watching what he was saying about dreams and all these kind of things and peace and all of these are all symbolic, or they're a result of socialization, the process of socialization. So you're not the way you are just because your parents tell you to be like that. You are like that because your society tells you to be like that as well.
That is actually,
and this is what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually mentions. كل بني آدم يولد الفطرة. That every son of Adam is born upon the fitrah, and then the fitrah, which is Islam. The natural predisposition
to believe in and worship God.
To believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is deserving of worship. And of course it's this environment that changes him. It's his parents that either make you Hawidani, you Nasrani, you Majusani, either make him to a Jew, Christian, or as a Christian.
That's what you said was very profound, because you were saying, okay, the parents, might be blamed for that, but also it's the society. And at Salam, that's exactly what we're trying to do, because we're trying to deconstruct those false ideas and reconstruct it with proper truths. And one of the things, because we need to understand, is that society throws these things at you. That's why you're coming with the way you're thinking, be it, for example, whatever ideas you're coming with, you get it? This is what you're being taught, you're being nurtured, so it's not just your parents.
Directly or indirectly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't able to go to my mom and say, Ummah, the same way that you're promising me that our religion is correct, what about this mother to her religion, or to her kid, this mother to her kid? Who's to say who's right and who's wrong? She said, when you feel it in your heart is when you know. She said, go study other religions, go read, go understand, and it's what enters your heart. I left religion entirely. I have tattoos. I'm not a perfect person by any means, but Allah accepts me all the same.
That's what I'm saying.
So yesterday, this is going to be powerful right here. So I'm learning that everything that has been happening to me, good and bad, the bomb threat, alhamdulillah, the next morning, when it first happened, I cried and I said, Allah, why did you do this to me? You promised me, I thought in my prayers, but I realized He didn't promise me that. That's what I wanted. He gave me what I needed, because now...
Wow, that's so powerful. Do you see what he said there? He goes, Allah didn't give me what I wanted, He gave me what I needed. And this is a very big issue, bro, because with a lot of youngsters, it's always because we live in a society where we want immediate. If I want something, I want it now. We live in a fast life, fast cars, fast food. Everything is just, I want something, boom, I'll get it. Amazon Prime, boom, I'm going to order something, it's going to be the next day. We live in this society where we want things immediately, desires, it's just boom. We're becoming like animals, sadly. What he said is very profound, because the youngsters, this is exactly what the youngsters go through. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I want this, I want this, I want this. But the whole point of Islam is to, what makes us different between the angels? The angels do as they are told. The animals do with what their instincts do. What the instincts cause them to do, okay? Why, and this is a statement that I think we mentioned today, or I think Sheikh Mohammed mentioned today, is that if you want to be better than the angels, yes. What was the same? I forgot. If you want to be, if you want to be like the animals, you act on your desires. You let your desires take forth. But if you want to be better than the angels, there was a statement I'm trying to remember. Sorry. If you want to be better than the angels, you use your akal, something along those lines. I can't remember, yeah? But in a nutshell, what it is that we need to understand that, look, it's not what we want, but what we need.
Absolutely.
And that's really important.
So, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows exactly what every person needs. And this is exactly our belief as Muslims, in our belief in the qadr, that we believe in predestination. We believe that everything will come to you, and everything for the believer, as Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, everything, strange and wonderful is the affair of the believer. His whole affair is good for him. This is only for the believer. If badness comes to him, then he has sabr upon it. فَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُ, and it's good for him. If something good happens to him, shukr. He gives shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's good for him.
Yeah, and that's, I just remembered now, like if you want to be better than the angels are told to do something.
No.
You do it
Out of your own
will.
will. No,
That's what I was going to say. And when we ask for dua, this is really, really important, you know. This is very, very important. This actually connects to my marriage documentary, yeah? Because it's a matter of not what you want, because you think that's good for you, and it's not. It's what you say to Allah, oh Allah, give me someone that's going to be good for me. Because otherwise a lot of people are like, look, oh Allah, give me somebody that's like this and looks like that and like that, but they're not good for you.
No,
that's what you think you need. It's coming out soon.
And do you know, this one, just to add here, like one of the things he said is that while he was going doing his discovery, he stepped outside the box to kind of see everything. And there's a beautiful discussion with Ibn Taymiyyah, as far as you can see. Like, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but from what I know is that he was talking about the fitrah. And he was talking about the fact that we don't actually need to come out of Islam in order to discover it. Because the truth is, what is the fitrah? The fitrah is the idea that you're born upon a predisposition to believe and worship in the Creator, the Sustainer, the Maintainer, the One, Allah. So every human being on the face of the earth knows naturally who Allah is and what relationship they should have with Allah.
And this is the covenant that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about, Surah Al-A'raf, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took out from the loins of Adam all his dhurriyyah, all his offspring. And he made them testify, Alastu bi rabbikum, am I not your Lord? And they all said, Bala, shahidina. Yes, we bear witness, you are our Lord, we have witnessed this. And this is the fitrah, as most of the mufassirun, the scholars of tafsir have mentioned.
And so that's the beautiful thing. So what one shouldn't fall into the trap of believing is that one has to leave Islam in order to rediscover it.
Absolutely.
You can rediscover the tenets of Islam by clearing up your fitrah, by coming back to the belief that you originally had when you were born. And by the way, there are studies that have been done on this. Like very commonly stated studies. In 2011, there's a study in the Oxford Anthropological Society. They done a study on the children. Basically, it was a regional study, cross-regional study, a lot of millions put into it, multidisciplinary study, like proper study, and they found that children are actually born with the innate belief of God, the innate belief of God. So it's not just a religious theory. It's something which can be substantiated with the evidence.
Just to argue that point, you're basically saying that you don't have to leave Islam. But can I not argue the point that someone outside as devil's advocate? Did they even understand Islam in the first place to leave it? Because
when we say Islam, this is a good point. So Islam, when we say we're saying that they believed and had an understanding of who God was. Right? We're not saying babies are born with believing in Prophet Muhammad or the 5 pillars of Islam or the 6 pillars of Iman. We're not saying this. We're saying people have an innate predisposition to believing a creator.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's what it is. 100%. And so what Islam is, the Quran is dhikr. So it's just reminding the human being of their innate predisposition. It just reminds the human being of their innate state.
In fact, you cannot say not only the Quran, but it's the messages in totality.
Yes, all of the messages.
They were sent to do what we call ta'deel al-fitrah, to bring the fitrah back. The people swayed, the various nations swayed away from the path, swayed away from the fitrah. The messages were sent to bring them back to their original position.
Now, I'm able to back away, leave YouTube, regroup, get my imam strong, get my faith strong, get myself strong, get my love strong for my friends and family. And not only that, yesterday was the first time I was able to walk into a masjid again and pray with all my tattoos, understanding that it's not about. I used to be scared to go because of the judgment that people, the Muslims, used to give me on Twitter.
I remember,
It's another problem, and actually we've done a reaction video on this.
MashaAllah, you have.
We've done a reaction video on this, and wallah, it's sad. In that position, they takfir on the guy. In the masjid, they do takfir on the guy. You see a disbeliever, and this is another problem for our youth. If you make the masjids, you know, somebody said the statement. If I went to the pub and I spilt my drink, he was here. We go another one free from the table. You go to the masjid, you make one thing, get out. How do you expect people to love the house of Allah when you're making it so ugly to them? You know.
And you know, just on that note as well, it's believing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the thing, because a lot of people fall into sins. We all fall into sins, in fact. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Kullu bani Adam khata' wa khayru khata'in tawwabun." That every human being falls, makes mistakes, and those best to make mistakes are those who repent. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya ibadi alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim, Qul ya ibadi alladhina asrafu ala anfusihim, la taqnatu min rahmatillah, inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'an. So Allah basically, oh my slaves who have transgressed against themselves, i.e. with sin, do not despair from the mercy of Allah, because Allah forgives all of the sins. So to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not have mercy on you
is a bigger sin.
Is a bigger sin than probably committing the sin, whatever it is that you were doing.
Not only is it a bigger sin, in fact, Al-Tahawi, may Allah have mercy on his aqeedah, in his theological text. Tahawi was passed in the year 321 from the early scholars. He mentions, al-yat, he mentions that complete despair from the mercy of Allah can actually take one out of the fold of Islam.
Wow, really?
Yes, complete despair from the mercy of Allah that's not coupled with any type of hope can actually take you out of the fold.
So just to rephrase that, so if you believe to yourself, Allah will not forgive me, you're falling into big sin, massive sin, because you're negating one of the attributes of Allah. He's the most merciful. Who are you to come with your limited mind and say you're not going to forgive my little sin?
I think the problem here is conveying that to the people.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we have a lot of ignorant people amongst us, unfortunately.
You looked at me.
but it's true. I'm sure you covered this in your video.
You looked at me. You have a lot of ignorant people.
I got scared of Islam because of how the Muslims treated me because of what I was doing. Instead of seeing me do something and understanding he's on his path, let him find his way. That's not for our decision, but I'm going to pray with him in silence. And if I want to give him nasiha in private, I could do that. They didn't.
I agree with him and I don't agree with him in this point. Look, I agree with him in a way where, for example, it's absolutely wrong. Yeah, okay? That, for example, you have a go at somebody, you start calling him names, this, that. No way, yeah? And there's actually people that actually have certain misconceptions, because we done some videos about Brother S.A.L.A.M, with certain things that he did. With Brother Fouseytubes, I've been giving him advice like for the past 2-3 years as well. I don't know, maybe he's watched it or he hasn't watched it. But the issue is there's a thin line. If somebody's doing something, of course you should give him nasiyah. Of course, this is part of our religion. We should want the best for him. We should not think, okay, yeah, he's going down. And I've seen a lot of people calling him so many names. Wallah, it's disgusting. And wallah, it's sad. You push people further away. However, we should not confuse that with, for example, I'm going to give an issue with Brother S.A.L.A.M, who's in the video, yeah? He came to the UK and he did certain things, yeah? Which was wrong, because you publicly did it. Not only that, you was promoting it. Now, our concern is the youth that's following you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So let's not get that confused with, if we came out, because we never calling him names, this and no. We just said, look, Brother Adam, what you're doing is wrong, etc. We should find that balance, because if we call everything criticism and be like, oh, why are you saying that? Brother, we have to advise. The Prophet ﷺ said, you either enjoy good and forbid evil. If you do not, Allah will send down a calamity. Even if you prostrate, it will be rejected from you. So we need to enjoy good and forbid evil. Obviously, with wisdom. It's not just, yeah, I'm enjoying every Tom, Dick, and Harry. No. We go back to our teachers. But this is very important that, Brother Fousey, I know you're most likely watching this, that we distinguish between advice, even if it's done in a public forum, because if the sin is done in public, it has to be addressed public. Certain, there's another thing that we should be careful, but we're not condoning like the hatred that he's receiving.
I think it's the fiqh of the understanding of enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. It's detailed. It's not black and white.
Yes.
It's very detailed, and it's the issue of weighing up between harms and benefits, masalih and mafasid.
Yes, exactly.
And
I think Ibn Taymiyyah talks about
unfortunately, Shaykh al-Islam, not only Shaykh al-Islam, but many talk about it. It comes from the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri in Sahih Muslim, "Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu whomsoever sees an evil, let him change it with his hand, if not with his tongue, if not let him hate it in his heart. وذلك أضعف الإيمان, that's the weakness of iman." And there's a whole understanding of this issue. In fact, it's a very big. In fact, you can find many books written on this issue, standalone books.
Didn't also Ibn Taymiyyah, I don't know if it's Majmu' al-Fatawa,
say may Allah address our ulama.
Remind the benefits of a believer. MashaAllah. So didn't he say that, for example, if enjoying a good and forbidding evil is going to bring greater harm, don't do it?
Absolutely. No, but it's a detailed issue.
I'm so much knowledgeable these days. I don't know how this comes from. I'm joking. I'm just a little joke. I'm joking. I'll cut this bit.
And this is a message to every single person who runs one of those Islamic Twitter profiles or Muslim YouTube channels or Muslim pages, who just, instead of supporting your brothers and sisters who you see doing something wrong, you push us down.
I see
One thing that got me.
Okay, so he's talking to us now directly.
I'll be honest. He's been getting a lot of hate from a lot of people. Yeah. I personally assume the best, that I don't think, if he is talking about us, like for example, let's suppose it's us, yeah, he's misunderstood our message. You get it? Because most of the videos that we've done with advice, but like I said before, it comes to my original point here, we cannot distinguish. However, those who have called them names, I'm talking about literally calling them names. These guys are like this, and I'm sorry, I totally disagree with that approach.
Let me tell you something, right? Yeah, let me tell you something. Okay, if we assume that Islam is true, because we're Muslims, right? And Iman, in my analogy here, is going to be symbolic to, or analogous to health, physical health. If you see someone who's like, for instance, a very popular person on YouTube who's got a very big following, and they're giving wrong medical advice. In fact, the advice that they're giving, or the things that they're telling people to do, are against your health, and people are following that person. For example, saying, okay, have this much sugar, smoke this, or do this. Now, doctors and other people that are watching this will be thinking, okay, well, let us come in and, rescue people's health, because otherwise people are going to be consuming these things, and we know that people are consuming these things, and their health is going to deteriorate. If that is analogous to the spiritual state of human beings, then there has to be some kind of counter narrative to what I would call the liberal Islam. And what I mean by that, that's a new thing now that's being invented. And I'll be honest with you, I think these two individuals, I think these two individuals are proponents of it, yeah? I believe that I'm not going to mince my words here.
I don't know enough of them to say that.
I'm 100% sure that they are proponents of it. It's the idea that you are free to do whatever you want so long as you don't harm anyone.
Mills said this, right?
Yeah, J.S. Mills' principle thrown into the Islamic discourse, into a hodgepodge of ideas and things like that. Frankly, bro, I think that needs to be deconstructed.
Yeah,
and Muslims are following this and thinking that it's pseudo-Islamic science. Islam is clear. There are certain things which are halal and certain things which are haram. There are certain things which are allowed and certain things which are not allowed.
When you say clear, you mean, yes, alhamdulillah, it's clear in the sense that which has consensus is clear.
Yes.
And that which maybe it's point of disagreement, a valid point of disagreement, is also clear.
It's also clear. إن الحلال بين وإن الحرام بين وبينهما أمور مشتبهات لا يعلمون كثيرا.
So those doctors, they are coming out there out of care, not only for yourself, but the general mass that you might be unintentionally guiding to the wrong path.
Because the maslah is greater.
Exactly. So we should not.
The benefit is greater.
So we should not look at these doctors, and I'm not talking. If these doctors came, like where we talk about, and they started insulting you, this time I'm with you 100%.
Yes.
Why they shouldn't insult you? But if they're coming with the advice and to turn that advice into your haram police or this that's unacceptable. Because what that means is, I have this life, let me be. We can't. It doesn't work like that. If we don't, why did certain other people in the old nations fell into this? Even in the scholars here, like for example, Banu Israel, when it came to the matter of the Sabbath, they should have not been doing it. And what does the scholar say? There was those who did not listen, and there was those who did listen, and those who were silent. The scholar said the ones who were silent would join the ones in the hellfire with the ones who did it. Why? Because they looked and they were silent. We can't be silent. So the thing is, take our advice as advice, brother. Wallahi, believe me, I'll say this from above my heart. I don't do this for money. We don't do this for let's make money. It's not about this. We genuinely care about our brothers and sisters as much as you're passionate. You have a goal. Our goal is to get the youth to practice their religion, and this is the reason actually we started our whole organization. But
let's not also conflate this. Let's not belittle, Amal bin Ma'lun, enjoying the good, forbidding the evil. I don't say it as a kind of doom and gloom, enjoying the good, forbidding the evil. No, but some of the Ahnaf, some of the Hanafi scholars, have some very, very profound statements. Like this whole concept is from Mizan ud-Din. It is literally the scale of the religion. It is literally the scale of the religion. Via we weigh the good and the bad, and subhanAllah,
that's why there's other faiths that have gone astray. If you look now, everything is all happy days. Whatever you're gonna come with, bring it along.
No trigger. There was this one girl, Haram. I love her. I'm not gonna hate on her. She runs one of those hijab, Insta, fashion, whatever. She tweeted and she said, as a joke, when I first called myself Lil Khara. She tweeted and she said, as a joke, when I first called myself Lil Khara, before I even thought of Lil Khara, she tweeted and she said, this is Noor Arakat's brother. I am convinced that Arab parents don't know how to raise men.
Yeah.
I went to my mom and I said, who does she think she is?
Yeah.
To not only talk about me, but to say that you raised a perfect son. And because of that, and because I didn't go off on her, and because I just trusted it, my imam and my strength is stronger than ever, alhamdulillah. I now look my mom in the eye. My mom got scared because she said, Yusuf, you weren't religious. Where did this come from? And I said, Mom.
One thing that I've seen in Brother Fousey is that he gets affected by negative comments. As a YouTuber, I'll be honest with you, even myself, a lot of us, like, they appear like
We
they
all
get
get affected
we
by
do,
it.
we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we do. But with him specifically, it seems like it really bothers him, like to the extent like he had to go to his mom and say like, what's she trying to say? Where does this come from? Like, what advice would you give to Brother Fousey with these negative comments that are being thrown at him on a daily basis, and it really gets to him? Like, I genuinely don't know what I would personally advise him.
So if we, one thing I wanted to say is that if we look at the studies that have been done on social media, there's lots of studies that have been done. There's articles that are written on it, but I'm not going to go into it in detail. But the idea is this: social media usage. The more, generally speaking, the more social media you're on, and the more hours you're on it, the more you're likely to have depression or anxiety or a lack of sleep, or all of these things which are very negative. So as someone who's based their lives, we spend a lot of time on social media as well. One thing I try and do, and this is advice to myself, one thing I try and do, and a lot of people have been advising me to do that as well, like, because I try and keep my distance to social media now, you know, is I try and save a space in my day for social media, or my week, a time and a place for it, and not to attach myself to it too much, because the thing is, if you do go into this virtual reality, this virtual reality is going to cause you to be depressed. It's going to cause you to be anxious.
And it's going to give you virtual things back, which you think is real.
Absolutely. So what I would say is that there's a beautiful hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In addition to what you've mentioned,
ازهد في الدنيا.
ازهد في الدنيا يحبك الناس وازهد فيما عند
يحبك الله.
يحبك الله وازهد فيما عند الناس
يحبك الناس.
يحبك الناس. That
And there's a weakness in the hadith.
is a weakness in the hadith, but it's not always for you.
Yeah,
Hadith.
but it's
Weakness in the
it's-
but it's
فما الحمد لله تحسين الحديث اللي كذا أزلت.
yeah.
سام fair.
Inshallah. But the hadith basically says that, you know, leave off what the world has to offer, and Allah will love you. So be aesthetic in the world, and Allah will love you. Leave off what the people have, and the people will love you. In other words, and this is the reality of capitalism, guys, and Fousey in particular, if you're watching this, capitalism is a system which, if you go into it and you start competing in the framework of capitalism, whether it's on social media, whether it's on in the economic, in the market, in the marketplace, or other than that, your happiness is going to be linked to your success, and there will always be someone more successful than you.
It's an endless circle.
And so it's you'll never be satiated, and as a result of that, you'll never be fully satisfied. You know. So what I was going to say is that going back to that hadith,
This
take
is
a step
also
back.
from the fitra as well, to be honest with you.
He has,
100%.
he's left social media.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I heard about that. He's left social media. So what I was going to say was that approach is a better approach. I'm not saying leave social media. I'm saying now find a meaning for social media in your life. It's got to transcend the egocentric model,
100%.
right? Because if the meaning for social media, if the main reason is just to promote yourself, it's not a good enough reason,
It
in
has
my
to have a
opinion.
higher purpose.
It has to have a high purpose. The reason why we're on social media, inshallah, is because we're trying to advance the meaning of life to people. We want to promote the meaning of life to people, which we believe is to be submissive, to Allah, to follow Allah, because that is the purpose of life. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We haven't created the jinn and the human beings except that they may worship. We believe that is the meaning of one God, not three or null or nil or whatever it may be. One God, we believe that all the prophets came with. That's what we're trying to promote to the people. So our message, hopefully, transcends our being. That's why going back to وَلَا تَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ, I don't fear any blame of the وَلَا يَخَافُونَ لَوْمَةَ لَائِمٍ. They don't fear the blame of the blamers. So if you're doing it for a transcendent purpose, whatever you're going to be doing now, whatever you're going to be doing now, if there's a backlash, that backlash is expected, number one.
Exactly.
And number two, it's in the context of, I don't care, because I'm doing what my purpose of life is.
Exactly. You know, that's the thing. I'm not trying to be negative here, but that's the issue with Brother Adam Tyler. When we advised him, we got a massive backlash. At the beginning we did. We got a massive backlash, and at the end, it kind of, people apologise, etc. But those backlash, I'll be honest with you, it didn't get to me. I was upset to see that youngsters are thinking this way, but the whole point was, inshallah, I was thinking, look, I'm trying to do this for the right reasons. So what you're telling is irrelevant. It doesn't mean nothing to me because I know why I'm doing this, inshallah, and what you're attacking me from is irrelevant. So that's what I would say, Brother Fousey. One little advice I would give to you is that, and this is reminded to me myself first, actually, it reminds me of myself, as much as I care, just 10% of me caring about what others think about me, if I just use 10% of that care and thought to myself, how would Allah perceive me? I think our whole life and our whole direction will change. If you fix your affairs with Allah, Allah will fix your affairs with the people. Do not look. They're never going to be happy with you. I'm telling you, never, ever, ever. They're not going to be happy with you. It's simple. And you know why? This is maybe a hikmah from Allah to show you the only one that's not going to let you down is the one who created you. All mankind, be it your mom, be it your dad, whoever it is, they love you. But I swear upon Allah, if they said to your mom or your dad, go in the grave instead of your son, nope. That's where the line stops.
We need to realize that Allah is more merciful to us than our own mothers.
Yes.
Allah Jalla wa'ala is more merciful to us than a mother is with her newborn child. But we have to go back to Allah. We have to resort back to Allah. Flee to Allah.
And that's
we have
what
to keep our sila, our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has to be something very tight, very personal, very meaningful.
And that's what Allah says, only with the remembrance of Allah, your Lord do hearts find peace. We are programmed. Your soul, you feed your body, brother. Look, mashallah, you're training this good. You're looking after your body. You're saying nutrition, my muscles need this, it needs rest, it needs protein, it needs this. Brother, wallahi, your soul, your heart is the same. The same. Your heart is yearning for Allah. Would we feed it? I'm not saying you, but I'm just talking money is rejecting it, saying I don't want it. Cars, I don't want it. Women, I don't want it. It's rejecting it. It's calling for Allah, but we're giving the soul the wrong food.
I want us to say one more thing just quickly.
Ooh, first 5 minutes, mashallah.
Right.
But it's been very productive.
I was going to say, look at the platform the brother has. He's got 10 million subscribers.
Bro, he's
more. I don't know. I haven't seen for a long time. But what I was going to say was that one tip: if he just promotes a charity project, if he does philanthropy, I'm not saying he doesn't do that. I don't know. But if he does that. Imagine if he does that consistently over a span of 12 months.
On his feet,
Imagine how much money the man can raise. You know, that's meaningful. That's transcendent. That's more than the egocentric model. That's when the man will start to feel, you know, like what I'm doing is more valuable.
It does actually. You know, in this specific shop, one little boy approaches them and he goes, "I'm going to pay for your whole uni fee. Just study." Yeah.
Does he do that?
So yeah, mashallah. You know,
but if he goes down that route, philanthropy, trust me, that's another.
It's not only that. It's not brothers. I think you touched upon it, Ali, and it's that every person must have a certain amount of ibadah, a certain amount of personal worship that they do, in addition to that which Allah wants from you, from your compulsory act. Because it's these additional acts of ibadah that will strengthen you. It's like providing nutrition to your soul. So when those tests come eventually, la qaddar, we hope they don't come, inshallah.
Yes,
but if they do come, you're ready for it. Your iman is up to here.
Exactly,
because we're all our iman goes up and down. Our iman goes up and down. This is what we believe. Our iman goes up and it goes down.
That's what it is, Sheikh. When your iman is high, you need to prepare when it's going to be low. You need to get ready. It's like you're going to the jungle, brother. At one point, I'm going to hit the jungle. Let me get ready. Let me get my everything ready. And that's how we need to think. So basically, is there anything else you want to share, Hijab? Is there anything that you? I think we've covered a lot of the angles. I want to finish on a good note. Alhamdulillah, mashallah.
It's fear for your iman. It's important, bro.
Yes.
Al-aman makrillah. Do not fear that just because we take shahad, Allah will not take your iman away from you again.
Yes, exactly. It's a reminder to all of us, you know, that we always ask for guidance, inshallah. But let's end on a good note, inshallah. You know, Brother Fouseytubes, he retook his shahad, inshallah, and hope Allah keeps him firm. And one advice I'll give if he's watching this, go umrah, perform hajj. I would say, you know, this is the perfect time for you to say, you know what, just zone out, go perform umrah and hajj. Trust me, you know.
Reconnect with the words of Allah.
100%, perfect time. Inshallah. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to finish off by watching him take the shahada, inshallah, on the full screen. May Allah bless you guys from the house. As you know, this is the house. More reaction videos and more guests and other appearances will be happening soon. Keep an eye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shaykh, barakallahu feekum. Ma'am Hijab, thanks for the layman approach. It was absolutely amazing. I learned a lot. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.